All right. Hey, do you need more extreme metal music for your library? As in, like right now? If you have a few minutes, I will hook you up with some brand new tunes, okay? So, welcome back, friends, for episode number 8. It is Hump Day. It is Wednesday. Happy yeah, January the 10th, 2024. I'm Terry here again with Cast Metal for another full metal review where I connect bands with fans like you. I do right now a beta version of my full show. Probably in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do my full show where I want to do 3 reviews. But right now, I'm only doing one. And the reason why is because I'm ironing out still a lot of bugs in my program. I think you guys who have been watching have heard this a couple of times before, but yeah, that's what I do. Okay, so every day from my Apple Music app, I dig through the metal section to review all of the newest releases for stuff I can add to my own library. Then I review it, and then I decided to share it here with you. I make a video every day and send it off your way. Hopefully, it helps you out. Sounds good? All right, here we go. So, whether it's death metal, black metal, deathcore, metalcore, new metal, groove metal, or just about any type of metal music, to be honest with you, if it's got anything to do with extreme releases, I review it and analyze it here every single day for you guys. Okay, so first off, I absolutely love metal music. The more extreme, the better. And coffee, of course. Can't go without my coffee. I'm a big coffee mug collector enthusiast as well. So, just to be safe, these albums that I review are sight unseen. Okay, that I don't go through the motions of pre-reviewing things or prejudging things. I just grab them raw off the shelf or right out of the streaming platform in this case, and I plug them in, I review them, I set up my checklist sheet, and I send it off to you guys. So I don't want, I made a decision actually yesterday that I don't want you guys to be disappointed when I come across a review of an album that I don't like. So I dig through my library and I pull out a surefire recommendation, something that's in my library and I am grooving to almost on a daily basis. So today, I am going to recommend from my own library, from my secret stash, Brand of Sacrifice Lifeblood. It is an excellent death metal, black metal type band. They're out of Toronto, Canada. And they're somewhere in that death metal, black metal range. And yeah, sounds about right. So let's get into our full metal review, everybody. So, a recap. Yesterday, episode 7, I reviewed Cryptworm's new album, Oozing Radioactive Vomission. And I easily added it to my library. I wasn't enthusiastic about it when I saw the album, but I thought to myself after I heard it, this stuff is absolute dynamite, and in it went. Okay, so if you haven't seen yesterday's episode, Cryptworm review and analytics, Oozing Radioactive Emission, check it out. Yesterday's episode. So today, the band that I chose is Mavis, and Mavis is out of Stuttgart, Germany, and they are described as a modern metalcore band. And I couldn't find much in the way of anything like a Wikipedia or any other information on them. They look very new. And so I dug down into Apple Music and I found that to date, they have a few singles and an EP ranging all the way back from 2019. So I'm taking it that they're a fairly new band. Excuse me here. So on with the show. How it works is, first off, every Sunday from the metal category on Apple Music, I catalog all of the newest albums of the week onto a database and I post it onto my Metal Magazine Facebook page, okay? Now, I haven't been active since December 15th on that page, and I'll tell you why. It's only because There's literally only been 2 or 3 releases on Apple Music since then. So I'm hoping and expecting something, probably, a pile of them coming out this Sunday, or a trickle at least. And yeah, so things have been quiet over the holidays and throughout the new year for these bands. I guess they're taking some time out from touring and stuff like that. I saw a lot of touring activity last year. So the intent, of course, is to eventually review 3 albums once I get everything sorted out, guys. And I'll remain in what I call the beta mode for the next, I think, couple of weeks. So I don't mind saying I've also made some very good improvements. And so moving on, I'll explain the rules to how I do this. Are I keep my reviews short and positive. Not everything I listen to is to my taste. Okay, I don't dig through. Again, I just do everything sight unseen. And not everything makes it into my library. And I do reveal that at the end. I say, it is or it isn't going into my library, but that doesn't mean that it can't go into yours, because you and I are not the same people. However, also moving along, I won't knowingly try to badmouth anyone's work, only because I don't have the right to judge, to be honest with you. Nobody does, but quite frankly, I've never learned to play an instrument. I can't sing or anything like that. I am quite simply just a fan, guys. So, hey, let's go, okay? We're going to dive right into our review. So before I listened to the album, I did an overview and first impressions, and I'll explain my rules, okay? So I did all these checks on my checklist. And again, whatever the outcome, guys, remember that all of these artists are worthy of you giving them a shot, okay? So after I'm done here, let's hope that they find a home with you. Overview. As I opened the page, I first off saw, I'm going to move along here. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's a little cleaner for you. Okay, sorry. All right, so as I opened up the page on my app, I saw there were 11 really good looking, mouth-watering tracks. To me, all of the tracks, they spelt metalcore, or metal, to say the least, all over it. And I figure if the album cover, which is all kinds of like kaleidoscope colors here, with a beautiful, very very dramatic font. We have Mavis, Grief is No Ally. That's the name of the album. And I think that we are in for a real ride if everything matches out. So the rules that I use is I use 9 different categories or rules or criteria to describe each album. And I keep it very simple, okay? So moving along the checklist, guys, let's go here. All right, the recording and the sound quality, as I went through the album, quite frankly, it's decent, but it could have been better. I found a little wee bit of crackling in it. So some of these albums are clean, and I've come across a few albums that are actually, come on, guys, you gotta get into a better studio, or you have to get some kind of help or something like that, somebody to give you a second opinion. The production and musicality is very raw. I think myself that they may be self-represented without any outside help, and I think that they could probably use some, to be honest with you. These guys are young and they're new. The energy and intensity of the album, I found all the way through, is on the medium side. I didn't find it to be super, super high energy or anything like that. The rhythm and the tempo is very consistent all the way through. The lyrical and theme was this guy here. He's a mixture of Fry with harmonies, a good match for the music direction. Genre critique, Apple categorizes this as metal, but I categorize it simply as metal core. And it is. It's very typical metal core style. Apple doesn't seem to recognize the term. I haven't found it, so The potential, or or my prediction whether they could go mainstream, I'm thinking, yeah, they actually could, but these guys right now are in the raw, so I don't think that they are on the radio or anything like that. The range and flow and the layout of the album is a good overall layout, although the last song was possibly my least favorite. I thought, usually it begins and ends with a good impression. And I found that the last song was my least favorite, which could be your most favorite. Who knows? It's hard to say. Who did I find that they are similar to? And they have a gent sound. Okay, that slapping gent sound. Very similar to, they're not like them, but they're very similar to Architects or Spirit Box style instrumentation. That real hard hitting type gent sound. I really enjoyed it. Next up is a breakdown, and to manage time, and to prevent things like mispronunciation, I only use track numbers. Okay, so track number 1, dramatic, deep, and powerful. Track number 2, melodic, explosive, and edgy. Track number 3, grinding, climactic, and big. Track number 4, deep, punishing, and bright. Track number 5 was actually my favorite, to be honest with you. It was flowing and bursting and energetic. I liked it. Yeah, that was my favorite one, track number 5. Track number 6, rangy and hard hitting. Okay. Track number 7 is loud, drifting, and brutal. This one here was actually a very nice song too. Track number 8 was melodic, and I found it to be mainstream rockish, a little wee bit more along the line of like Linkin Park. Track number 9, exciting and straight on and very strong. Track number 10, and power. It was a very, very powerful song, and it was surprisingly refreshing harmony. And if I had to give it another rating, I would say that this one here is a very close second to yet another favorite song. And track number 11, although I heard it, I didn't grade it. I'm going to leave that up to you, because it was also my least favorite. And part of the rules is that I only review 10 songs. So during listening, the individual performance of each member, I do a checklist on them too. These are my observations, guys. It's the singing and vocalizations it's a fry vocal sound with a similar style of Linkin Park and Architects, with very clean singing to go with it too. Good harmonies. The guitars are gent style with metalcore. The bass guitar I found was very bubbly. The drums and percussion were rangy. The drummer is very talented in this. I think that you guys will agree. Additional sounds, some sampling that sounds like an outer space adventure or journey, if you know what I mean. And in summary, I have, well, what did I get from the first impression to now after I was done the album? Well, quite frankly, I was pretty much spot on. It looked like metal or metalcore, and I was pretty much right. I was pretty happy about that. I'm getting these things a little wee bit more right lately. My favorite tracks were 5 and 10. Emotionally, chills and goosebumps factor, I don't know, maybe a 6 or a 7, maybe even an 8 on the 2 favorite songs. So it was pretty good. I would say a couple of times I felt my hair stood up on my arms, so I think that was a good thing. Flavors, if I had to compare it with a favorite food, I would say that it's pizza, because everybody, I think, likes pizza. They're a very likable band, okay? Tonality and shades, whether it was light or dark, I would call them on the lighter side. They sound like a band who were just happy to be in the studio and happy to be performing. So I got that it was a lighter color. I gave them the color of red. red and yellow. Those are the colors of energy, and you can tell that they had a lot of energy in abundance there. Temperature, hot or cold? Definitely cold. I mean, I'm sorry, definitely very hot. Okay, these guys here are putting out a lot of energy, so, and their temperature was pretty high. Would I hide it from my wife? No, I don't think so. I don't think that she would particularly enjoy it, but I don't think I would hide it from my wife. Finally, is it going into my library? I'm going to be very frank with you. There's yes and there's no, and then there's I'm going to put it in there and I'm going to listen to it a second time. And that's where I'm going to leave it with this particular band, okay? I'm going to put it into my library. I'm going to give them a second chance. But part of me has a little wee bit of trouble with with harsh recordings, staticky, and so on and so forth. So I like good sounding recordings. So, all right, that's it for today, my friends. So I want everybody to please subscribe, comment, engage, set your notifications, okay? So you get notifications, and follow the links too to my Facebook areas and stuff like that. Please, lastly, remember to support your bands. Stream them, stream the whole album so that they get paid. Buy the merchandise, go see them live if you can. Engage with them on their social channels, you know, like and comment and stuff like that. It only helps them get seen a little wee bit more. So until then, guys, we shall see you tomorrow. And if I'm not here tomorrow, it's because I'm dead. And pretty much makes sense. Yeah, I'll be back to give you guys another review tomorrow. So I'm starting to actually enjoy doing this. Okay, guys, take care. Have a good night.